Greetings, welcome, good morning. Thank you for joining me and for tuning in. I am having a cup of coffee this morning and just wanted to jump on to say hello. Today is a very busy day for me, but I wanted to find the time to come on and give you some encouragement for your Reiki business journey. This week's episode of the Build Your Reiki Business podcast is about finding time for your Reiki business. When we have a Reiki business, we don't just have a Reiki business, we have a life. We have things going on. We have kids. We have relationships. We have groups that we're a part of, activities. We have animal companions. We have cats. And so life indeed happens outside of your Reiki business. And so, with so much life going on, it can be a challenge, a concern, and a frustration to find time for our Reiki business. Well, this week's episode of the Build Your Reiki Business podcast offers some encouragement about finding time for your Reiki business. The first thing that I really want to encourage us to do is to maybe reconsider the ways in which we talk about quote unquote finding time. Because the truth is that we cannot find time. We don't get any more of it. And so rather than finding time, I believe it's important for us to work to cultivate time, to carve out time in our schedules for the things that are priorities. It's also important for us when we're talking about finding time to work on our Reiki business to really consider where our Reiki business lies in our priorities. Now, here's the thing. If your Reiki business is not a priority for you at this time, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And so what that means is that if you are challenged to find time to work on your Reiki business, maybe your Reiki business just isn't a priority right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely okay. Your Reiki business is not going to go anywhere. Reiki business as a whole is not going anywhere. And it indeed can and does take time to build a Reiki business. And so what that means is that I want to encourage you to release the pressure from yourself, to feel like you have to find lots and lots of time to work on your Reiki business, or you're never going to be working on your Reiki business. That is simply not true. When we look at building our Reiki business as a brick by brick kind of process, then maybe we can relieve some of the pressure on ourselves to feel like we've got to build very quickly. Nope, indeed, it is a process that does take time. And so know that if you're challenged to find time to work on your Reiki business, it's absolutely okay, because your Reiki business will always be there for you to be able to build on. Gotta have a sip of my coffee before it gets cold, right? So welcome. Great to have you here. Welcome, Megan. Greetings and blessings to your Reiki business. And so I also want to encourage us to, when we feel those pressures to find time to work on our Reiki business, and when we feel those challenges, to ask ourselves not just where our Reiki business lies in terms of our priorities, but also where can we carve out time for our Reiki business. We have a lot going on in our lives. We all do. I don't know anyone who isn't busy. And indeed, busy is such a catchphrase these days, isn't it? How are you? Busy is the response always, right? Well, everyone is busy. But we can all find little bits of time, pockets of time here and there. And so I have a very busy day ahead of me. And yet it was important to carve out time to be able to jump on live and encourage you on your own Reiki business journey. So I got a lot of stuff that I need to get done today, but it was important for me. It was a priority to encourage you with this message today. And so here I am for, 5, 10 minutes to chat about finding time in our Reiki business, for our Reiki business. And so, can you find little bits of time? We often think that in order to really move our Reiki business forward, we need to find big chunks of time. I need to be sitting down for 3 hours every day and working on my Reiki business. Well, probably you don't have the luxury of that much time for your day. And the truth is that we can find little bits of time throughout our day, throughout our week, where we can work on our Reiki business, 20 minutes at a time. Here I'm going live for 20 minutes at a time. Now, of course, I got a lot of other Reiki business things to do today for sure. So my Reiki business time is not confined to 20 minutes, but you get the idea that we can do quite a few things in just 20 minutes of time. Maybe that 20 minutes looks like creating a flyer. Maybe that 20 minutes looks like writing a post. Maybe it looks like interacting in a group. Maybe it looks like calling up your friends and seeing if they are interested in a Reiki session over at your house on Saturday. And so all of those things can be done in small bits of time here and there. I think we often underestimate just how much we can get done in a short amount of time when we are focused and committed to that amount of time. And so, can you set aside 20 minutes this week to commit 100% to working on your Reiki business for that small bit of time? And you might say, oh, 20 minutes? What is 20 minutes? That's nothing. That won't get me anywhere. But 20 minutes sure does add up when you do it again and again and again. You do 20 minutes 3 times, and that's an hour. And that is lots of time to be doing things for your Reiki business. So don't discount the power of the small, and don't discount the power of the small added up and add it up and add it up. Remember, with building your Reiki business, it is brick by brick by brick. And so that means that each and every brick, even if it's 20 minutes, is indeed going to build a wall or a castle or whatever it is you are building with your Reiki business. Indeed, it is going to be built for sure. And so I want to encourage you with that message of just finding time to work on your Reiki business, doing it consistently, and not underestimating the power of the small with your Reiki business and the power of doing those small bits of time again and again and again. And if you can find big chunks of time, that's great too. I talk about this in this week's podcast, but when you have time that you can carve out for your Reiki business, having a plan for it is very important. Having a plan for it is very important so that you're not sitting down and saying, oh no, this is my Reiki business time and what do I do? You know what you're going to do. Now, I'm working on my Reiki business every day, but I still create a plan every single day for what I'm going to do in that day when I have my appointments, when I need to send messages to my clients, the things that I need to do for my groups, going live. That's on my list of Reiki business things for today. And so that means that every day I have a plan too, and I got plenty of Reiki business time. And so when you don't have as much time to work with for your Reiki business, it's really important to have a plan for what you're going to do in that time in order to maximize your time. So please indeed do check out the Build Your Reiki Business podcast for this week on finding time in your Reiki business. You can tune in at standingstoneshealing.com/podcast. And of course, there you can find all of the past say that 5 times fast, past podcast episodes on that page as well. So I'm sending lots of blessings to your coffee, sending lots of blessings to your 20 minutes, your hour, however much time you got to work with, sending blessings to doing it again and again and again as you build. And of course, always sending blessings to your Reiki business.